What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we got a lot of things that we need to put away, so we just gonna dive directly into it. I have quite a few peppers that I need to process and put away. So the first thing that we are going to do is handle some of these Sugar Rush cream peppers. And I just started by like browsing around on Pinterest to figure out like what would be the best way to do something with these, and every recipe that I found only required about 6 at a time, so I might end up doing 2 different recipes. But the first one that we're doing, we're going to double it up, and like I said, I found it on Pinterest, so I will be sure to link this below. But it is a habanero and mango hot sauce.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Very much spicy, and obviously these aren't habaneros that we're using, but I feel like it'll still give us what we need to give. But I actually do just have one little single habanero from the garden. So real quick, let me give you a quick view of all the ingredients, and we're just gonna start powering through all of this bit by bit. So the ingredient list was pretty simple. We will be using white vinegar, a cup of water, which haven't gotten my water yet, 2 mangoes. I am using the, what are these called? I don't know, like the honey mangoes. I like these a lot. 2 onions, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 1-inch pieces of ginger, and then we have 12 peppers here. So really the beauty in this recipe that I found is like you can literally throw everything in your blender. There's not just a whole lot of chopping that we have to do. So right now I'm just popping the stems off of the peppers, and then everything else will just be getting a rough chop. The type of cook I am, I naturally want to taste this and like see if there's anything additional that I want to add to it before we begin the process to actually like warm it up and everything. So just going ahead, do a little taste test before we put it on the stove, because I'm feeling like cilantro with this. I love cilantro. I feel like just adding some of that up in there could really take it to the next level. But okay, I like the heat level. Oh, I like the level of heat that we are at. Like, it's not overpowering at all. The vinegar comes through. The onions are definitely coming through, and I like that. And you get like that back of the throat type heat, and the ginger is popping through too. So right now, I like this. Trying to think if there's anything I could add. I'm definitely feeling like I want to add some lime juice in, just to get some of that flavor. And I know if I add the cilantro in there, that will even elevate it a little bit more. So we're just gonna do what my heart says. I feel like we definitely tiptoeing in like salsa-esque territory, but I don't care. I like the way it sounds, so let's do this again. All right, just going ahead, give this a taste. Yes, Lord. All right. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so I had to take a moment to regroup, but what I think I want to do with the rest of my spicy peppers is I am going to ferment these. So I'm basically going to use just all the hot peppers that I have, maybe one of these bell peppers just to like calm things down a tad. So I'm just going to use this yellow one because I know it's going to be so sweet and so good. So that guy, a head of garlic. I'm going to use red onion. I have some ginger. I think I might end up adding in some cilantro as well. But before we can get into all of this, I need to boil some water. So I'm boiling water right now because I don't have distilled or purified water, and that is extremely important when you are talking about fermented foods, because you don't want to introduce like any weird bacterias or chemicals. That camera just ran out of space, but anyways, yeah, so I'm boiling water now. We're going to allow that to cool and everything else. So while we wait for that, I do have the jar that I will be using here ready to go. I like using the Ball fermentation kit. It has like this little vent on the lid, and then this is like basically like your way to keep everything submerged under the liquid. But yeah, while we wait for the water, let's go on ahead and handle these other things. So these other two things are very simple, actually. I just got all these bell peppers and things. I'm just going to chop all of these up and put them in a big Ziploc bag. That way I can just add them into recipes as need be. And then also all the leeks that we harvested last week, I am also going to just chop all of these up and put these in a Ziploc bag as well, probably the same exact one, to add into recipes later on. And then I do have potatoes that we need to handle as well, but we'll get around to that eventually. All right, so everything is nice and warm for our sauce. It's very, you know, pretty creamy, as smooth as I would like it to be, or not as smooth as I would like it to be. I wish it didn't have like that, like grainy, like, not grainy, but it's more like a smoothie as opposed to a sauce. But my immersion blender is out of order, so it's totally fine. I'm gonna rock with this, but we need to go on ahead and add our lime juice in. And because I doubled this recipe up, I'm gonna go with about a tablespoon per serving, or, you know, for each of the recipes. So 2 tablespoons is what I'm going with, and I think this will be good. Even though it has the vinegar in it, I don't technically plan to can this, but I just more so want the flavors. Like I said, sometimes I find a recipe and my mouth is watering. It smells so good. I'll find a recipe that I like most of the stuff in, and I just kind of wing it from there. Like I said, I'm not canning this per se, but it should be able to store in the refrigerator for a decent amount of time with the lime juice and the vinegar and then the salt that we put in as well. So now I just need to prepare some jars, but I'm going to hold off on that for just a second because I really got to go digging. But let's go ahead, cut up our leeks and get these put away before I do all of that. With the leeks, I went on ahead and cleaned these up really well already and trimmed them back to a decent amount. I left some of the darker green on there, but I'm gonna just chop it up according to the things that I've seen and read. I haven't really worked with leeks just a whole lot, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Similar to like a green onion, you want to trim off like the top bits or the roots, I guess, and then I'm just going to cut them. I feel like the good thing about this go round, for the most part, I grew these myself, so I can actually feel where it begins to get a little tougher. So I'm going to cut all the way up until about that point. And yeah, so that's how I'm going to bust through all of these. So we will just make our way through. Alright, so boom, this here is our hot sauce. Of course, you can put this in like a cute little, you know, dash 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 type bottle, but I'm going to be gifting some of this to like friends and family. And I don't know, I like the way she looks in a mason jar, but I wanted to taste this guys with you. I wanted to taste this with you guys. So I got a little grilled piece of chicken from yesterday that I grilled up. We need to give this the real test. Yeah, that's good. That's real good right there. It has a nice warmth to it without being like overly spicy, and I like that. I think my family would like that. It's got a little sweetness to it, and I think the cilantro just brought out all the flavors that I really enjoy. So all right, now we can go on ahead and get our ferment started. So I have about 4 cups of distilled water that we boiled ourselves, nothing super fancy. And I went on ahead and added 2 tablespoons of sea salt. Now this is just going based on what I read online. I was trying to get like a decent ratio to make sure that this was going to be a proper ferment, and I didn't want to just boil up a whole bunch of water because that means that we would have had to wait longer for this to cool down. But at this point it's nice and cool. Like I said, I already mixed up my salt in here, so now we just need to pack my jar. Now I just need to pack my jar with everything that I'm wanting to put in here. So I already mentioned that I'm going to basically be putting 3 different types of pepper. We're going to be working with the Sugar Rush Cream still. I have some jalapenos, and then I have this yellow California, or the California Wonder, or Cali Wonder Golden, Jesus. And I'm also going to be using a red onion, some garlic, and where's my ginger? I got a piece of ginger up in here somewhere. Where you go? Oh Lord. Oh, it's in my face. And a little ginger. So I'm just going to layer these in here in the way that makes sense in my mind and make it look really pretty, and then pour the brine over. Of course, use our spring to keep everything submerged, and I think this is where we're going to wrap things up. So let's just get into it. Wait,
I don't need to explain to you.
You definitely
No,
do.
I don't.
Like,
The huge. So remember when I went downstairs? Yeah, thank you for going. Yes, you did.
Stunning. All right, so we're gonna go on ahead and cut things off about right here because my house is getting a little chaotic, and I don't know how much more I'm about to be able to get done anyway. So we did get the hot sauce done here. We chopped up a couple things to freeze, and then we got a fermentation going on. So what I plan to do with this, I want to let this sit for at least a minimum of 7 days, but I'll probably like really check you guys back in around 10 days is what I typically go for with my ferments. And from there we will go on ahead and finish out the process. But where I usually like to keep my ferments is in this cabinet back here. So it is in a dark, cool-ish place. It actually gets a little warmer because it's right next to my refrigerator, and that works out just fine for a ferment. But yeah, I will keep you guys tuned in on this, but I hope that you all enjoyed spending the day in the kitchen with me. If you did, please make sure that you go on ahead and subscribe. Stick around. Let me know how you are preserving some of your peppers, because I'm running out of ideas. Hot sauce and chopping things up, that's cool, but like what other things can we do with these lovely harvests? Let me know. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity, and until the next time, peace.